There's also coping that is nostalgic or kind of taps into your childhood. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
So for me, what gives me such peace is being able to go to an amusement park and ride roller coasters. And so to this day, there are moments where I'm like, man, I need to get on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I seen
man.
this brother in action. He like a kid running from
Oh,
one to the next. He's
oh
like,
my-
"Myron, you riding this?" Or nah, bro.
So different things that you experience as a child growing up, being able to exercise those things even as an adult, and I think sometimes what we mistaken is that, we hear the scripture, when I was a child, I spoke as a child.
I acted as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things.
This is different.
Right.
Yes.
So
Doesn't
you're
mean
telling
don't be a kid at heart.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Just
and
don't
Jesus,
be a kid in behavior.
right?
You're right.
And
exactly.
Jesus,
life.
Jesus encourages us to have childlike attitudes and hearts.
Yes.
So I get that.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose that child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Because that child really brings a lot of joy.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. I know this is a lot to take in, gentlemen.
It is.
But I think it's good.
No, thank you for this, man.
I think it's good to be able to just kind of like think about it, apply it to your life and how you kind of navigate what those micro and macro coping mechanisms look like. Yeah. And,
Did you two also talk? We also talked in our pre-planning meeting about cognitive restructuring.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
So, and I'll give an example with the microcoping.
Okay.
Right. So when you are taking that intentional time and just being present in the moment, the cognitive restructuring, it gives you an opportunity to eclipse the negative thoughts with what's going on in the moment.
That's good.
Okay.
Does that make
real
sense?
good. Yes.
That's where the restructuring comes in. You're making a conscious decision that I'm not going to dwell on this, but I'm going to dwell on these things.
So you're restructuring what you're thinking about.
That's right.
And you're thinking on those positive things or
Right.
those things that are present
Right.
before you
Yep.
that can impact how your mind in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And even, like I said, the result of that is that now physically I feel more at ease. I feel grounded. I feel at peace, and you mentioned it, whatsoever things are honest, lovely, just, of a good report, think on these things, right? Review it, rehearse it, right? And then after a while, those negative, irrational thoughts are now behind you. Okay. It's intentionality with the cognitive restructuring.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
and that
good.
falls under the umbrella of what we call in the mental health world, CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. It's really about identifying what you're thinking about and what can I do to counteract those thoughts? What can I do to shift my way of thinking into more positive thinking?
So
Yeah.
that could even go as deep as if folks are having thoughts about harming themselves,
Yeah.
or if they have thoughts about depression that they're doing, not that they shouldn't go and seek help, but they could start to implement that cognitive restructuring
Right.
to at least put them on the path
Yes.
if they can't get help immediately.
If it's exercised on a consistent basis, because I think for some people, especially starting out with it, like anything, you got to practice that thing.
Yeah.
To a point where after a while it becomes practical. It's the thing that you do, right? And, sometimes in the moment it may not necessarily work. However, just like anything else, we got one of the best shooters in the world by the name of Stephen Curry. We know his routine every day, and we see the results of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Also like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Kobe Bryant had that mental piece too.
Yeah.
That came along with, and I know that we can open the door.
Yeah. But I think that's such a
great point you made, especially coming from someone in the mental health space, to say it may not always work.
Yeah.
In that moment.
That's good.
But that doesn't mean throw it out.
Correct.
It just means in that moment, that wasn't what you needed.
Yeah.
Maybe what you have going on may require, like you talked about earlier, the ER.
Right.
Versus one of these other behaviors, or one of these other therapies. So.
Yeah.
Or it may just mean that you have to, go ahead.
Maybe you just need to adjust some things.
Yeah. Or just get in a rhythm and routine to do it on a consistent basis.
Correct.
So that it does become effective for you. You can't do it one day and then think that it's going to work.
Right.
You've got to make sure that I'm huge on consistency and discipline.
That's right.
And I was saying that's anything in life, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Working out, dieting, it doesn't matter. Anything in life, if you do something consistently long enough, you're going to see results.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think we would be able to really know how to kind of regulate our thoughts and our emotions if we know how to incorporate if we know how to incorporate microcoping and macrocoping on a regular basis, right? Yeah. Macro, again, is the routine. Micro is in the moment, right? Yeah.
It's good.
I like it.
So listen, we hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed being on the couch with our resident mental health professional here, 20 plus years in that space. So, yeah, this was some really good stuff, some really great nuggets.
Yeah.
And listen, this is not it. We are still in the Permission to Pause series. So we still got some more episodes that are going to be coming your way. So you want to make sure you stay tuned in. And if you haven't seen the first episode that we did introducing this, you want to make sure that you go to our YouTube page and check that out as well. Any final...
No, I just want to, again, thank you for your service.
Oh, yeah.
Really appreciate it. And then
for all
the licensed professional counselors out there that are actually doing the work.
Thank you.
Kudos to you all. Thank you all for what you're doing, especially in the culture and the times in which we're living now, that there's a lot of pressure out there. There's a lot of things that are actually going on that's keeping people up and messing with their minds at this point. And I just thank you for the tools and resources that you shared today, macro and micro coping mechanisms, and really naming and defining those. So I hope this was very helpful for you. And again, thank you.
Yeah,
really appreciate that. He had me. I'm going back in my childhood right now, thinking about those great things that actually happen and helping me to cope with those things. And then I love touch the word before you touch the world, which I think is so important. So thank you all for listening in to the show. Yeah, really appreciate it. Cannot wait to do another episode. I hope this is life-giving for you. And thank you for being a resident expert for us in the space.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So appreciate that. So if you like this episode and always want to be aware of what's going on or be notified when we do another episode, please go out there and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Men's Power Connect. That way you can make sure that you don't miss any episode that we're doing.
Yes.
And then also put comments in there about what you thought about this episode or any previous episodes that we've actually done. We're always wanting to make sure that we're doing our best to make sure that you're your best. Okay?
Love it.
All right. So we good?
We good.
So please, you guys know what to do.
Go out.
Encourage another brother. Peace.
Peace, y'all.